Focused on an outcome, a result, a goal, you move healthcare forward. But with changing needs, it helps to know who's on your side to discover, diagnose, and deliver. We are BD. We're made for what's next in health, turning what if into what is for more than 125 years, wherever care is needed and delivered. Because the future is more promising when we work together to make tomorrow better. BD, advancing the world of health.
Hello and good morning, everyone, and welcome to BD's first Climate Action Supplier Summit. My name is Kevin Nelson. I'm the Chief Procurement Officer and Head of Supply Chain for BD, and I'm thrilled to be with you here today. As Chief Procurement Officer, I have the privilege of working with many of you over the years, and together we've achieved some remarkable things, driving innovation, enhancing efficiencies, and creating value for BD. Now we're going to look to the future and really look at what we need to do to collaborate and tackle the issue of sustainability. When I think back at some of the things we've done in the past few years, we can include COVID on that list, supply continuity issues, record inflation, and together we've been able to really tackle these and overcome some of the major issues in healthcare. At BD, we also recognize that our journey towards sustainability is truly a collaborative effort, and our commitment is to be sustainable and develop practices based on the science-based targets to reduce our emissions and reach net zero by 2050. Maria Mazurek is joining today, our Chief Sustainability and EH&S Officer, and she'll talk shortly about the goals we have that will impact how BD does business, from R&D and the amazing things that our Sustainable Medical Technology Institute is doing, to how we do business across our integrated supply chain, and finally, the way we interact with our customers, investors around sustainability. During this first panel, Maureen will moderate and we'll hear about each of these areas from some of BD's executive leadership team. When I look back at some of the different accomplishments the team has made that you're going to hear about shortly, is really in the four walls of BD. And that's been exciting when you think about the waste reduction, reduction in packaging, circular recycling, things like that. Now we have the ability to really work together and collaborate on the extended supply chain. And that's where the folks here will be able to help with that today. So this summit marks a significant milestone in our commitment to reducing emissions and meeting our science-based targets, but we can't do it alone. We need the dedication, innovation, partnership of our valued suppliers like you. And that's why we're here today. So we expect our suppliers to join us in this effort by setting your own science-based targets to reduce emissions. Those of you invited are here today, not by chance, but because you make up a significant portion of BD emissions. That's not a bad thing. That means you are a big, dependable, strategic supplier, and we want and need you to be on this journey with us. It's also important that you engage to reduce these emissions, but you're not alone. I think that's what's important, is that we believe that by working together, we can create a ripple effect that drives significant environmental impact far beyond our individual companies. This is not just about meeting a corporate responsibility. It's about securing a sustainable future for all. I'll speak later this morning again and detail exactly what we're asking our suppliers, as well as detail how we're going to support each other in this effort. So the one example I would use is that we've been on this journey for tier N visibility, and that's going to be critical in this journey as well here today, in that we've been focused in scope 1 and scope 2 within our four walls, as many of you have been as well. We now have to extend that journey to the extended supply chain, looking at the suppliers well upstream in terms of what we can do together to impact different initiatives, such as reduction in waste, product redesign that we'll talk about later today in our research and development, and just more efficient, effective lead time and supply chain development as well. So more to come there. We've also brought in some BD key customers today so that you can hear directly from them about what is driving the sustainability effort. Advancing the world of health is BD's mission, but doing it in a sustainable, responsible way is critical to our long-term success. These customers will speak on a panel led by my procurement colleague, Steve Livernoy, VP of Procurement. And Steve sees firsthand every day how some of our leading suppliers are supporting our efforts to meet customer requirements. And he is in a unique position to be able to lead this panel and bring together customer perspectives alongside our leading suppliers to talk about end-to-end value chains sustainability. So one example I would share with you as well is getting ready for the event this morning. Classic example where I'm using a typical product. It's a razor blade for shaving. And the packaging for this is something that takes basically a team of multiple people to open up the package. This packaging, I think, is really good for the manufacturer in that it probably prevents theft. It's going to be very good from a shipping standpoint in that. But when you think about the customer perspective, there's not a lot of benefit. It's very frustrating to open this type of product. We want to apply the same thinking here as well, in that if we can use you and work with you to create solutions that are going to be impactful to the customer and to the patient, that's where we win. That should be able to drive an experience that's more positive. It should reduce waste. It should reduce frustration and improve the customer experience from end to end, really creating a competitive advantage for all of us throughout the supply chain. So our aim today is to ensure that this event is highly relevant for you. We don't expect you to have the answers. We don't have all the answers either. We want to work together, and we're bringing folks together today to do so. So regardless of what stage you are in the maturity journey, we have breakout sessions today that are developed to address a range of topics for suppliers, those who are starting out, as well as a glide path and discussions for mature suppliers. And we're joined by some industry experts here to help us navigate the path together. We're looking to make this event interactive and engaging. You'll see a survey poll questions come up. We also encourage you to ask questions and share comments and expertise during the different sessions. There's a QA tab on the right-hand side, and we can make this a two-way discussion. I've met with many different suppliers here that are on the phone today, and even some of your chief sustainability officers. And the folks that we have here are on a really exciting journey. You've presented multiple ideas that are truly transformational. What's encouraging today is we are listening. We want these ideas. We want to work with you to really incorporate those into the BD design as well. So we encourage you that are on this journey to really step forward, be active today, but more importantly in the future, and work with us to help us today and even the suppliers who are not quite as far along in that journey. So in closing, I think we have a really great opportunity here. I want to reiterate that this summit is just the beginning. The work we start here today will extend far beyond these walls, and the decisions we make will shape the future of our industries and our planet for generations to come. BD's commitment to collaboration around sustainability with suppliers does not start and end today. We provide resources today, and we're going to follow up with trainings, conversations, and meetings as we go forward. You can look for and expect that we're going to have multiple discussions in our quarterly business reviews. We're incorporating sustainability into our sourcing category strategies, and this will be a topic of conversation, which I hope you'll welcome as much as I do. So we'll always talk about cost, quality, supply continuity, but I think as exciting, if not more, will be really how we can transform healthcare together. So we really want to thank you for being here today and for your commitment to sustainability. Together, we have the power to drive meaningful change, and together we can make a significant impact and pave the way for a greener future. So enjoy the summit, and let's make a difference. From here, I'm going to turn it over to our CEO and Chairman, Tom Polen, for a short update on BD's perspective, followed by Maureen Mazurek, our Head of Sustainability, who will lead another panel. So with that, thank you all for joining today. Please be active if you aren't able today, certainly in future meetings and sessions as well. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to the video.
Hello, and thank you for joining us today. For more than 125 years, BD has been providing high-quality critical products that are often referred to as the backbone of healthcare. Today, we are a global medtech leader, and our products and solutions touch billions of patients in more than 190 countries around the world. Throughout our history, we have helped solve some of the healthcare's greatest challenges, and we know that our stakeholders trust us to make responsible business decisions that address today's challenges and have a long-term impact on the future of healthcare. We recognize that it isn't just what we do that makes BD the company we are, but how we accomplish our work that is equally important. That's why our Together We Advance strategy focuses not just on the health of our company, but also on the health of our communities, people, and our planet. As we think about our impact, we know there's much more we can do collectively to address sustainability. Climate change is considered one of the greatest threats to human health, and our industry has a big role to play. In fact, the healthcare industry makes up about 4.5% of global emissions, or 2 gigatons of carbon dioxide. Another way to look at this is if our industry was a country, it would be the 5th largest emitter. Our Together We Advance strategy drives our 2030 sustainability goals, which focus on 5 key areas where we see the most opportunity for meaningful and measurable change, including climate change and responsible supply chain. We are committed to taking action and have set ambitious science-based targets to help us reach our goals, reduce our carbon footprint, and reach net zero by 2050. While BD has already made great progress to meet our Scope 1 and 2 targets through initiatives like renewable energy sources and energy efficiency, we know that more than 90% of our emissions come from Scope 3, the indirect emissions that occur in our value chain, both upstream and downstream, including emissions generated by our suppliers. Addressing Scope 3 emissions will require us to be creative in how we think about our supply chain, from the raw materials we source, to products shipped, to waste generated. We're looking at every step to make an even greater progress on our climate action goals. As suppliers of BD, you play a critical role in supporting the sustainability of the global healthcare system, improving the lives of patients around the world, and ensuring the resilience of the healthcare supply chain. Today, we ask that our suppliers, all of you, join us in taking action and setting your own science-based targets by 2028, so we can work together to meaningfully reduce emissions. Some of you have already done this. In fact, we know that since February, when we introduced our goals, 20% of our suppliers have set science-based targets and are progressing toward net zero targets. That's great progress, but it's not enough. To make meaningful change, we need all of you to play a bigger role. Additionally, it's our expectation that all BD preferred suppliers actively collaborate with us on solutions that support emissions reduction efforts and help us reach our collective sustainability goals. We recognize that the path to sustainable healthcare is a journey. And as your partner, we're committed to providing you with the right training and the right resources to help you reach your targets. This summit is part of that commitment. And you'll hear from BD leaders, from customers and suppliers who are seeing progress in action, as well as industry experts who will share the benefit of their own sustainability journeys. I want to thank you for joining us today and for your commitment to take action alongside BD in building a future where healthcare is not only about treating illness, but preserving the health of our planet and in turn, the people who depend on it.